Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. Let's get into love and marriage Huntsville. Let's go. So everyone's sitting down to dinner. Stormy, Courtney, and the baby have come in. They're talking about all the horrible interviews that Maurice has done. Kimmy is kind of taking up for Maurice, saying that he's saying the wrong thing, but she's just doing what she does for Maurice. And he said that if he could delete all of them, he would. And I'm glad to hear that if he's sincere. Martell is just stupid, right? Him having that ring on is as equal as Puffy shouting out Cassie for helping him through dark times. To me, it's the same thing. They're both horrible. Child, this is hilarious. When Marsha asked Courtney before they left to go get the babysitter if he wanted him to watch chess, and Courtney said he don't watch his own kids. That's correct. But now he having flashbacks of Tisha taking this pregnancy test. I will say this. I agree with Kimmy. There's been a lot of rhetoric going on around Marsha. And Tisha has stood behind him. So it's only fair that Marsha stands behind Tisha. I hate that we have to hear this stupid storyline, but it's here, so let's just ride with it. Marsha, you want us to believe that you don't have any outside curricular activities. So I know that it's almost impossible, but it does happen that you can have a vasectomy and get Tisha pregnant. I can't even believe I'm still talking about this. Child, the fact that Mel was with Martell all that time and she never had a happy ending through 4 kids, 13, 14 years of marriage with him? Oh, child, that's horrible. Okay, with the flashback, right? Martell is making request of Mel in the bedroom. She made a request of him. He told her no. That is really insane. That says a lot about him. You want me to do all this stuff and be this person, but you won't do something that I want you to do? No, I'm not doing it. That is insane. When Mel said that Bang Bang was not in the forefront of her relationship like it is with Maurice, and Kimmy is saying that it doesn't occupy his time, Kimmy, it does occupy his time. It does. 3 times a day, that is occupying a lot of time. It does. He may have allegedly a little problem. I don't know why Kimmy doesn't realize that Maurice is not checking for her as he should. Because he never makes her feel like a wife. For him to talk about Kiowa and his son and not even mention her, like you're his wife. You don't think he just thought about that? Girl. Tisha, now the Africa situation, that's a storyline. This pregnancy stuff is dumb. We would like that storyline. Let's get back to the Africa situation. Let's get back down to who was sitting next to him on that plane and who got off of the plane with him. That's your storyline. Child, this conversation with the fellas and Martello, they're looking like Ray Charles. I literally can't, right? And he is over the moon about somebody else cheating. It doesn't matter if it's man or woman, but as long as they're not talking about him, he is over there trying to get his whole story out. And the fact he keeps saying cheating, like he just wants it off of him and onto someone else. He's the worst. You know why women are good who don't cheat on their husbands and have babies? It's because they don't actually have a baby. Unlike you who went outside of your marriage and cheated and got a baby by another woman and she actually had the baby. Yeah, women are good and you are horrible. So Chris is very graceful because he knows he's been out there doing everything. And if it was a situation with Nail, he would be happy to give her the grace because he knows that he's been out there. But now Marsha, if this is true, if this is a real thing, now he's in his head every time Tisha's out and he's wondering what she's doing. Much like a lot of women who have to deal with their husbands or boyfriends who cheat. So, welcome, Marsha. whether this true or not, whether if it's true or not, you have to agree that Tisha and Marsha is having the best time on camera. They've never been this interesting to me. This is good. Now I will say this, the truthful part. When Marsha said you didn't marry a guy who is emotionally intelligent to the point where you could say, I took the pregnancy test and your vasectomy may not have worked, I agree with him 100%. He is not that guy. Marsha is not that guy. He is a guy's guy, and he does not think like that. I love that Maurice is peeping around that corner. I don't know why he's up at 2:30 in the morning, and Kimmy clearly is probably in bed. But I love that he is looking around that corner at whoever this girl is that Martell has brought in. This Maurice, for this moment, you are right with me. And it was even more funny to see him running when he saw Martell and them come back down them steps. That did it for me. Now we know why we haven't heard from Big Ari. She probably is pissed because she's seen these previews for the last 2 or 3 weeks. And she realizes that she was not asked to come to Houston because it's not her weekend for Atlanta. Child, let's keep going. This conversation that Martell is having with Marsha is right up his alley, right? When Marsha mentions people in Tisha's DMs and Martell says, yeah, you look too good to go through that. See, he knows because that's what he says. Like, this is feeding Martell's soul. I don't know how real this scene is, but good job, y'all. Marsha may need to ask Martell what he thinks about it. Because Martell got a lot of pointers about Tisha. And I don't think Marsha appreciates that. So the Fletchers are setting up a little activity for everyone in the house. And Nell tells Fletcher that Kiki called and asked if she could come. Now, Kiki literally called and said, I heard you were having a trip, and I just want to know if I can come. I feel like everything that has gone on in the past week with Kiki, AL, and all that, if Kiki wasn't invited to the beginning, I don't think Kiki should have gone on this trip. I also think that after Nell told Kiki she could come, she should have gone talk to Tisha. Maybe not to ask, but definitely give her a heads up and let her know that Kiki is on the way. Child, Nell says she went soft with Kiki. And Fletcher says she couldn't wait till she got back to Alabama to apologize. And now Fletcher's not on board with this. And Nell has asked for his support. But he is not on board with this because he knows this is not going to end well. P.S. If anybody really should get on the plane and go back to Alabama, it really should be Martell. Because this is the era of the revenge P. Like, you got a problem with Kiki coming, who just has a problem with her cousin, but you got a whole castmate who is trying to just demoralize his ex-wife. Yeah, and then Fletcher talking about on a lighter note, Martell bought someone in the house. Exactly. Nell is right. You trying to talk about me? Bringing somebody who's on the show into the group, and he's brought like a stranger in the house that's not in the group? That's so disrespectful. So next week they start with the activities. They do the trust fall. Of course Mel is going to let Martell fall. And whenever Martell is in the building talking about Mel had cheated, that's when Mel gets worked up. And I hate to see her get out of character like that with him. Because nobody cares if Mel did anything. We just know what you did to mess up your family, Martell. Now, is this edited out when Kiki says, I'm not going to let anybody dictate where I can and cannot go? Because with everything she's been talking about, she said she didn't have a problem leaving. Although she did say she was like 30 minutes away from everybody else. But with all the lives and the interview, she said she didn't have a problem leaving. But on here, she talking about nobody's going to dictate where she goes. Maybe that's editing. I agree with that counselor, honey. Everybody looked tense. I can't wait till next week. It's your girl, Millie Chun. Tell me what y'all thought about this night's episode. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.